Good Friday morning, friends. I'm Pastor Ben Hayes from First Baptist Church, Dadeville, Alabama, bringing you our thought for the day here at the end of our week. And I hope that you've had a great week. I hope that you're planning for a great weekend, and especially this Sunday, you'll join us at 8 and 10:30 for worship and 9:15 for Bible study. We would love to have you at First Baptist Church, Dadeville. If you can't come personally, watch us online. Go to our website and click on our live stream, and you will be connected right with us. Or you can also find it on Facebook. Today we're going to continue our journey through Ecclesiastes chapter 8, and just want to share with you that today and the next few days we're going to be talking about some of the same stuff, because he carries this section all the way down through chapter 9, and there's some of the same things that we're going to talk about again and again. But pick up with me in verse 14. He says, "There's a vanity which occurs on earth, that there are just men to whom it happens according to the work of the wicked. Again, there are wicked men to whom it happens according to the work of the righteous. I said that this also is vanity." Now, pretty simple what he's telling us here. He's saying that people who are good suffer just like people who are bad. People who are bad sometimes are rewarded just like people who are good. And it's not a matter of the old theology that the Jewish people believed all the way through the Old Testament, that if you were blessed with riches, that it must mean that you were a righteous person. If you had a sickness, a disease, an illness, if something bad happened to you, it meant that God was judging you for your sin or your parents' sin. You remember the story where the people asked Jesus whether the man that was crippled from birth, if he was crippled because of his sin, crippled from birth, and yet they asked if it was his sin or his parents' sin. That was their mindset. And what Jesus says, neither. He says, in fact, this young man was crippled so that I could show you the glory of the Father, which takes us in a little bit different direction, but it reminds us that all things work together for our good, but also for God's glory. But in this particular instance, King Solomon recognizes something. He says, you really can't tell the difference. He says, I looked at this, I checked this out, and all of this is vanity. It's foolishness. It's futility, because no matter how hard you try, you're going to end up the same way. Everybody's going to end up dead. The difference between what King Solomon believes and what we know to be true is that what happens after death is what's important. Listen to what he says. He says, "So I commended enjoyment, because a man has nothing better under the sun than to eat, drink, and be merry." That is the philosophy of the Epicureans. Remember, they used to say, "Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die." Well, that's what Solomon is talking about here. He says, "For this will remain with him in his labor all the days of his life, which God gives him under the sun." In other words, if it doesn't matter how you live your life, live it to enjoy everything you do. Just throw off all restraints, and if it feels good, do it. If you enjoy it, do it. Don't let anybody criticize you or condemn you, kind of like the philosophy of this world that we're living in today. It's amazing to me at how many people don't understand that they will answer to God one day. They may not answer to him in this life, but they will answer to him one day. And Solomon recognizes that in this life, there may or may not be consequences. So what can you do? If you want to find peace, if you want to find satisfaction, just do what you want to do. Let me caution you about that philosophy. Understand that we reap what we sow. That is clear. That is biblical doctrine 101. You find it from Genesis all the way through the book of Revelation. We reap what we sow. And so the important thing is that we focus on sowing that which is good and holy and righteous. Because if we want to receive the reward of our Heavenly Father, if we want to hear him say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," then we must serve him with all of our heart, with all of our soul, and with all of our mind and all of our strength. That's what it's all about. Loving him and following him in obedience to his command. Listen, it's going to be a great weekend this weekend. Enjoy it and trust the Father to guide you in everything that you do. Be blessed.